If you love to untwist in a stereotyped AMD how you can part watch time scroll via Instagram, and yet be capable to hold up in the story, Manic is perhaps not for thou. Boast a Hollywood one-list throw led by Emma Rock, Jonas Mound and Justin Theroux, the pilot Netflix episode omitted on Friday. And if Manic is whatever to go by, Ties fans are in for one Hades of a trip. The episode is a montage puree-up of science-fi and black comical dystopias set within the lab of a drugs test for a team of pills how urged to eliminate all traces of its voluntary history injury. There's all you requirement to aware on the aspiring new AMD. Rock and Mound act two external actors who get portion in a drugs test the final lucky tablet, a three-step narcotic program. The conjunction of drugs is designed to shoot trauma memories of the marrow, outgoing the patient deborn and joyous. By treatment. Mound's nature Owen is of a success, rich New York household but in a story of psychological disease, same's the typical dark lamb. Rock acting Annie, alone who is already inclined to one of the drugs on the test thanks to the dark marketplace. Narcotic A is a personality sabotaging tablet that forces the customer to relive the lowest moments of their lifetime. Alienated of her household, Annie finds a odd convenience in often departure behind to a tragical occurrence she share in her sibling 5 years ago since a tool she gets to expend period in her. But these corrupt human soul aren't the just letter the couple dwell as they expertise machine-generated surrealistic ambition time by the impact of the drugs. Amongst such are a part elf, a Oshore Khan painter and a pair residing in a caravan. I favorite received to go in all these various human beings although it was a slight stimulating, grueling and disconcerting but how's the environment of the Shah, Rock says. Since all the letter present and dimension of Annie's identity, he's nearly simpler rather than I mind. Or perhaps how's fair my bounded band of ability. Emma was really happy to be behind on display in her old companion, Jonas. Particularly in the scenes wherever Sames dressed love a provincial. Superbad in that she starred near Mound in 2007 was my at first cinema so it was very cold to see above at him once again, particularly while he was Bruce in the grey mullet. We've as well had a amity in the meanwhile, so it was pleasant to be in my friend. In reality, it was Rock who got her old companion on executive board. Fukunaga, who was announced as the new Ties CEO on Thursday, explains, she talked on how her and Jonas reuniting, so I told, allows FaceTime him order currently. He came above, we told, we don't aware which the Shah's departure to be on but we're departure to fire in New York, he's departure to be mad. And he told, cold, I'm too. Later we had to drawing out which the Hades the Shah was. Time Theroux has HBO's TV AMD The Scrap and NBC's Parks and Recreations on his latter CV, near different movie roles. Rock and Mound are manufacturing a distinguishing jump of movie to TV. He's away so passing in latter year, in the likes of Nicole Kidman, Reese Witherspoon, Winona Ryder, Billy Bob Thornton and Anthony Hopkins manufacturing the go. I was love, if Nicole's made it, I'm making he, says Rock. But she is acute to spot out how she didn't deliberately select to do TV. I fair mind it was breathtaking to investigate these human beings above how long of period. It wasn't a carrier judgment so to say. And of year she begun off in TV, in little roles in shows such as Happy Louie and Malcolm in the Medium. Theroux acting Dr. Mantler who rest the clinic test, a nature the artist just describes as an odd person. His at first exterior in the Shah is, rather an sight opener. The stage opening in the physician possessing virtual sex in a machine play nature. Tiring slight some rather than, virtually, a sex car about his waistline. Theroux says, he's the top entry I've always had. He's funny. I very favorite making it, he's so silly. It was the fun prop up of the date. It took 2 days of survey, I insisted we very get it order. He's not a Shah on psychological disease. He's funny we believe the special ridiculous tablet is departure to fully remount human beings and do them sense superior once again, says Theroux. This item how is largest advantageous to them. This test attending isn't the pill or the lab installation, he's them connection as humane beings, and speaking on he. Rock agrees. I expect in general we know how down there is no regular. If you requirement a tablet to assist balance sheet the way yours chemical plant, penalty, if you requirement to go to treatment, penalty. Theroux explains how his nature wasn't how fleshed out on the web page to begin in. I came in deceased in the trial, we got to try and devise him a slight beat, the sea and the color of the nature. Same's in the strange bladder of neuroses at the laboratory. Cary was really nice at producing me go really far in the nature and later hauling him behind. I very favor it how. Fukunaga adds, I let Jonas be which Jonas requested to be, apparently in several guide, and the identical in Emma. Justin came in his explanation of Dr. Mentler. I didn't restrain him to. Sounds love the following 007 is in for a consider later. Patrick and I both of thick felt firmly how installation the Shah in a psychological clinic would not be the order selection, says Fukunaga. We requested to be merciful to psychological disease and not do how the butt stock of the jest. Patrick's dad's a neuroscientist and his woman's a physician. So he already lives in how planet, and for me, the is on possessing sympathy for the letter, portion of destigmatizing psychological disease. Somerville adds, we requested to be susceptible and do a history how human beings who include lost via how could sit downward and look and tell, hey, how's me? Fukunaga concludes, we wish human beings to go off in thing. He's not fair clean amusement.